This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union.
All righty, if you're a parent, listen up. Reports show that most of our notions about money are formed by the time we're 6 years old.
That means the things moms and dads do early could affect their child's chances of being smart with money. Here's what to avoid when teaching your kids about cash.
We teach our kids a lot of good things, but as they get older, we could also be teaching them ways to flush their money right down the toilet. Parenting Magazine says to help your kids learn good money management skills, don't send mixed messages. Avoid buying yourself something you want right after telling your child you can't afford to buy them something they want. Next, don't always give in to their wants. Experts say it's important kids know the difference between want and need. It can help them realize buying the more expensive, trendy item means that money can't be used to buy something else. Finally, don't bail them out. If your child blows their allowance, resist giving them an advance. If they feel what it's like to not have the cash for things they want, it could help them learn to live within their means.
So what can you do with some of your leftover cash?
Well, oh, by the way, just in case you don't think you have anything left over at the end of the month, well, you might just be a little bit surprised. So joining us with some of those money answers now are Cherie Coleman, who's the Vice President of Marketing, as well as Debbie Jewell, who's the Business Development Manager for Sussex County Federal Credit Union.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us back.
Cherie, one of the things we always hear when it comes to saving money is pay yourself first.
Yes.
How do we make that happen?
Well, to pay yourself first, you always have to put yourself first. So when you get that paycheck and that stack of bills is sitting there facing you, pretend your bill is on top. Okay, the biggest investment you can make is in you, not the electrical company or the cable company. Okay, so pay yourself first. There's a lot of ways you can do that. You can take directly from your paycheck, have a direct deposit right into a savings account so you don't see it, you don't miss it. Okay. You can also make sure that you're enlisting in the 401k at your place of employment. Most employers do a matching up to a certain percentage. So make sure you're optimizing the percent you can contribute, and make sure the employer's matching it, because that match is like free money. Okay, and none of us, we all want to take advantage of free money. So don't leave that off the table. Also, investing in a Roth IRA is a really good way for a young adult to make sure that tax-free earnings are constantly building for their retirement. Also, you have the good old change jar. At the end of the day, when you come home and you empty those pockets, put it in the change jar, bring it to the credit union, you have a coin machine, and whatever comes out of that at the end of the month, take it right and directly deposit it into your account. So all those are great ways that you can save. And also, the main thing is make sure it's a need and not a want. There's a big difference. You might think you need a new outfit for the wedding at the end of the month, but you really don't. I'm sure the 10 in your closet will do just fine. So save that money, and the $30 or $40, $50 you would have spent on that, take that and put it into your savings account.
All right, Deb, let's turn to you and mortgages. We actually have a question from a concerned Delmarva Life viewer. Take a listen.
Okay. Hi. I'm Olga Wilson, also known as OJ from Laurel, Delaware. Is it smart for me to pay off my mortgage early?
Paying off your mortgage early, is that a good idea?
Well, unfortunately, it's not a yes or no answer, and it's different for everyone. While eliminating the largest debt that most of us own is an ideal thought, it's really important to review your savings portfolio. Right now, mortgages are at an all-time low, the mortgage rates are, and they can provide a tax shelter. At Sussex County Federal Credit Union, our rates are as low as 3.04%. So it's super low. It's a great way that you can reduce your payments. So if you have short loans out there with a high rate, or if you have high rate credit cards, maybe you don't have a safety nest built up for your retirement yet, it may be a better option to pay off your high rate short-term loans first, increase the balance in your retirement account, and then evaluate. And once you're comfortable with the balance that's in your retirement account, then consider paying off your mortgage and making prepayments. At the credit union, there are no prepayment penalties. You don't want to be penalized, obviously, for trying to eliminate debt. So really reduce some of your higher rate loans first, your shorter term loans first, increase your nest egg for your retirement, and then pay off your mortgage.
All right. Credit card debt. can seem overwhelming. So the question is, how can we use credit wisely?
Okay, well, first of all, it's very unrealistic to think in this day and age that people will not use credit cards. It's almost, it's part of our reality. I mean, a lot of people do use them. Some people are very disciplined about using, and some are not. Some people, due to job loss or other circumstances, really come to rely on the credit cards to survive on a daily basis. So what is the best way to use that wisely? And it is, again, make sure it is a need and not a want. If it does have to go on the credit card, make sure that you're putting it on a card that has a low interest rate. And a lot of cards, like for instance at the credit union, our card is as low as 8%. So if you have cards that are sitting out there at 17%, 20%, and they also have an annual fee, transfer those balances over to a card like ours that has no balance transfer fees, no annual fees, and a lower interest rate. By reducing the fees and the interest rate, you'll be able to pay off the debt sooner. You can put more money towards the debt, and it'll pay the principal off sooner than the interest, so the debt will be eliminated a lot sooner. So again, it's making sure that it is a need and not a want. A lot of us use it even for things like vacation and things like that. We have the money, but we need the credit card to book them because that's just how we do things today online and everything. As soon as that vacation is booked, write the check right then, or make an online bill payment to your credit card so that you don't rationalize later, oh, well, that's on the card, I'll pay it off next month, and I'll take this money I saved, the $800 that was going to go for that vacation, and I'll go buy clothes for vacation. It does require self-discipline, but it can be used wisely, and it can be helpful at times. So make sure there's open credit on that credit card for when you do have a true emergency.
Sure, yeah.
So really only need it when necessary.
Now, speaking of credit, the Sussex County Federal Credit Union has a debit card that can also be used as credit. Or as a debit card. Debit card uses credit. I knew.
Visa debit
very
card.
confusing.
Which is better? Which card should I use, or what should I use, debit or credit?
A Sussex County Federal Credit Union Visa debit card is an instant issue card, and it allows you to access the money in your checking account to pay for goods or services. So instead of using cash or a check, you can use your debit card. And for most of you who have a debit card, you will typically be asked, would you like to use this as credit or debit when you're paying for something? It is better to select credit. And the reason is it's safer, it's more convenient, you don't have to worry about entering a PIN number, and also at the credit union, it actually is a cheaper way to process the transaction. It's less expensive. So as a member-owned and operated institution, if we can reduce our expenses, then we can return higher dividends to our members.
There you go. Okay, so let's jump into retirement. We've got another question for you here.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Leslie from Salisbury. My question is it ever too late for me to start saving for my retirement?
Too late to start
good
saving
question.
for retirement. I've wondered that one myself.
First of all, it's never too late to start saving for retirement. But you do have to be aggressive the later on in life that you start. So it's different for every person based on age, income, things like that. You also have to ask yourself, when I retire, will I have to take care of aging parents? Will I still have a house payment? Is my house going to be paid off? Am I still paying college tuition for a child that's not, maybe their loan's not paid off? All of those things have to be considered. So it's best to get a total assessment, and there are a few different ways you can do that to see what's right for you. At SussexCFCU.com, we have what's called Retirement Central, and it's an online scenario that you can go into, fill in what you need, what you think you need for retirement. It'll ask some questions, and it'll help you figure out kind of what you need to budget. Then you go back to, do I increase my 401k? How do I reach that dollar amount? Can I cut down on my expenses now? Can I cut down on the credit card debt and put more into my 401k?
A lot of things to look at.
Yes, a ton of things that you really have to examine. We also offer the services of a financial planner, an expert who can sit with you face to face. Tell them what your needs are, and they can evaluate what's good for you.
Okay, we've got one more question from a viewer.
Robert Johnson from Seaford, Delaware. If we find ourselves in financial trouble, is it smart to use our 401k as our bailout?
Yeah, 401k is a bailout. What do you think?
If you can consider other options, you definitely should before you access that money in your 401k. When you decide to participate in that, you make a commitment to yourself that you're going to have income when you retire. So if you access that money in your 401k before retirement age, you're going to be penalized. Whether you cash it out, you're going to pay taxes on it, or even if you take a loan out on your 401k, if for some reason your employment is terminated before the loan is paid off, you will have a very limited amount of time to repay the loan, which is going to impact, again, your financial strain that you're already experiencing. Or you could also be taxed up to 50% of the balance. So meet with your member service representative at your credit union or at your financial institution and ask and try and determine if there's some other options available to you before you cash out your 401k.
Deb, good information. Cherie, thank you so
welcome.
much.
Thank
And of
you.
course,
Have a good
if you'd
day.
like more information on how to manage your money, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. Up next on Delmarva Life, beautiful glass turned into works of art. We'll sit down with the local artist behind this unique handmade jewelry.
Notice how some of her jewelry can give you a piece of the beach wherever you go.